Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Mario Mandžukić. Mario Mandžukić is a Croatian professional footballer who plays as a forward for Italian club Juventus and the Croatian national team. Besides being a prolific goal-scorer, he is known for his defensive contribution and aerial power. He started his career in his hometown club Marsonia, from where he moved to two Croatian capital city football clubs, first joining NK Zagreb, and then signing with Dinamo Zagreb in 2007, where he was Prva HNL top goal scorer in the 2008-09 season. His prolific scoring earned him a transfer to VfL Wolfsburg in 2010. After some impressive performances at UEFA Euro 2012, where he was the joint top scorer with 3 goals, he was signed by Bayern Munich. In his first season with the club he won 3 trophies: the Bundesliga, DFB-Pokal, and the Champions League, while also becoming the first Croat to score in a Champions League final. After winning a domestic double the following season, he left Bayern for Atlético Madrid in 2014, and a season later was signed by Juventus for €19 million, where he won the domestic double in his first 2 seasons. In the 2017 Champions League final match against Real Madrid, he scored his second goal in a Champions League final, an overhead kick arcing past the keeper that earned him UEFA Goal of the Season award. At international level, Mandžukić was given his debut for Croatia in November 2007 under manager Slaven Bilic. He has since participated in 3 major tournaments: Euro 2012, the 2014 World Cup, and Euro 2016, making more than 70 international appearances. With 29 goals, he is tied with Eduardo da Silva as his international team's second most prolific scorer of all time. Behind Davor Suker, he was named Croatian Footballer of the Year in 2012 and 2013. Youth and early career. Mandžukić started playing football in Germany, where he and his parents relocated due to the Yugoslav wars. In 1992, he joined German club TSV Ditzingen, near Stuttgart. Upon returning to his home country, the newly independent Croatia, he spent the period between 1996 and 2003 at NK Marsonia before spending a season at the City Minnows NK Željeznica. The next season, he returned to Marsonia, and in the summer of 2005 he made a move to NK Zagreb. He thrived under the tuition of Miroslav Blažević and earned much interest from other clubs, such as Chelsea and Manchester United. Dinamo Zagreb. In the summer of 2007, Mandžukić was bought by the Croatian powerhouse Dinamo Zagreb for €1.3 million as a replacement for their Arsenal-bound star striker Eduardo. Upon his arrival, he managed to secure his spot in starting 11, playing mostly in the position of second striker. On the 4th of October 2007, he put on an impressive performance against AFC Ajax in Amsterdam, when he scored 2 goals in extra time to secure Dynamo's 2-3 away win, as Dinamo qualified for the group stage of 2007-08 UEFA Cup. He finished his first season at Dinamo with 12 goals and 11 assists throughout 29 matches, but also had a poor discipline record, collecting 8 yellow cards. He started the 2008-09 season with 2 goals against Linfield in a qualifier for the UEFA Cup. In the 2008-09 Prva HNL, Mandžukić was the league's top goal scorer, bagging 16 goals in 28 appearances. He also scored 3 goals in the season's UEFA Cup. This was the season of his rise in the Croatian national team as well, as he collected 8 caps in 2010 FIFA World Cup qualifying matches. After the 2008-09 season had finished, he was linked with German side Werder Bremen, but the €12 million offer was rejected by the Dinamo board, who were of opinion that Mandžukic's worth was at least €15 million. He started the 2009-10 season by scoring a goal in a Champions League playoff match against Red Bull Salzburg. Mandžukić received red card in the last minutes of the game, after he told the referee that he got hit by the bottle that somebody threw from the stands. He gave him his second yellow card and ruled him out of the game. On the 17th of September 2009, after Dinamo lost 2-0 at home to Anderlecht in Europa League, Mandžukić was controversially fined €100,000 after being accused of poor effort. It was the first time in the history of the club that a player was financially fined. On the 20th of September, Mandžukić captained Dinamo to a 6-0 victory against HNK Rijeka and Prva HNL in a post-match interview. Mandžukić rejected any speculation about him leaving the club after the fine, stating that it was his childhood dream to captain the Dinamo side, and that he gives his best in any match he plays for the club. During that season, he appeared in 24 league matches, scoring 14 goals. He appeared in 5 Europa League matches as well. Wolfsburg. On the 14th of July 2010, Mandžukić signed for VfL Wolfsburg for a fee believed to be around €7 million. Upon his arrival, in the first half of the 2010-11 season, he played regularly, but mostly coming on as a substitute. At the time, he was mostly used as left winger under coach Steve McLaren, who played with only one striker, Edin Dzeko. Things changed for Mandžukić, however, after the departure of Dzeko to Manchester City in January 2011. Mandžukić scored his first Bundesliga goal for Wolfsburg on matchday 26 against 1. FC Nürnberg under interim manager Pierre Littbarski. Upon the arrival of manager Felix Magath, Mandžukić was played in his natural position as striker. In the last 7 matches of the domestic season, he scored 8 goals, 2 of which came in the last match against TSG 1899 Hoffenheim, and were crucial for the club as they avoided relegation. In his second season in Wolfsburg, he became a regular starter in the Bundesliga and was the club's top goal scorer with 12 goals. In his 2 years at Wolfsburg, he scored 20 times in 56 appearances, establishing himself as one of Wolfsburg's best players during his stay, and quickly becoming a fan favorite due to his goal-scoring ability and attitude. Bayern Munich. On the 26th of June, Mandžukić signed a contract with Bundesliga club Bayern Munich for a transfer fee of €13 million, pending a medical test. Subsequent to his strong performance at UEFA Euro 2012 in Ukraine and Poland, and because of his terrific form for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga, on the 27th of June, the transfer was officially announced by Bayern Munich. 2012-13 season. On the 24th of July 2012, Mandžukić made his debut for Bayern in a 6-0 win against Chinese Super League side Beijing Guoan, scoring the 5th goal in the friendly match in the 79th minute. On the 12th of August, he scored his first goal in an official game against reigning Bundesliga champions Borussia Dortmund in the 6th minute, helping his team win the German VfL Super Cup. He scored his first league goal for Bayern against Greuther Fürth on matchday 1, and added another one the next matchday in a 6-1 win against VfB Stuttgart. He went on to score twice against his former club Wolfsburg. Mandžukić then added 4 more goals in 5 more Bundesliga matches, taking his tally to 9 goals in 11 matches in the German top tier. After the Bundesliga winter break, Mandžukić continued with his goal-scoring activity, netting 3 more goals in first 2 games, against Greuther Fürth and Stuttgart. He scored another brace against 1 FSV Mainz 05. He finished his first Bundesliga season with Bayern as the club's top goal scorer, netting a total of 15 goals in 24 matches and having a major impact in winning the Bundesliga title. He scored his first Champions League goal of the season in the round of 16 match against Arsenal. He netted another one in the quarter-final match against Juventus in Turin, giving Bayern the 0-1 away lead. On the 25th of May, Bayern faced Borussia Dortmund in the 2013 UEFA Champions League final and Mandžukić scored the first goal of the match, giving Bayern a 1-0 lead in 60th minute. Bayern went on to win the match 2-1 after a late goal from Arjen Robben. With this goal, Mandžukić became the first Croat to score in a Champions League final game, and it capped a highly successful first season for him in Munich, as the club completed a treble-winning season, claiming the Bundesliga, Champions League, and DFB-Pokal, as well as the German Super Cup. At the start of the campaign, 2013-14 season, Mandžukić first began the season slowly, having small issues adjusting to new Bayern coach Pep Guardiola's system. Guardiola changed Bayern's formation from the 4-2-3-1 they had used previously under Jupp Heynckes to a new 4-1-4-1 style. While it took a bit of time to adjust, Mandžukić regained his form nonetheless in time for league play. He opened the new season in the Bundesliga by scoring 2 goals in 2 league appearances. Mandžukić scored his first Champions League goal of the season when Bayern Munich began the defense of their Champions League title against CSKA Moscow with a 3-0 victory at the Allianz Arena. He headed the only goal as Bayern defeated a valiant FC Viktoria Plzeň in November to move into the knockout stages. With a record-equalling 9th successive UEFA Champions League win, Mandžukić scored his 10th goal of the new Bundesliga season in a December match against Hamburger SV. In the first semi-final of 2013 FIFA Club World Cup, Mandžukić dove-head Thiago Alcantara's cross into goal for 2-0 against Guangzhou Evergrande. He eventually won the competition with Bayern after the final with Raja Casablanca ended with a 2-0 victory. Upon the Bundesliga winter break, Mandžukić was left out of the Bayern Munich 18-man roster in their match against Borussia Mönchengladbach, with Guardiola reportedly unimpressed with his performances in training. He returned to the squad for the next match against VfB Stuttgart. A week later, against Eintracht Frankfurt, Mandžukić delivered a response with a commanding performance in Bayern's 5-0 win, scoring the last goal of the match and delivering a pinpoint pass to Mario Götze who opened the scoring. On the 12th of February, Mandžukić scored his first hat-trick of the season, as Bayern Munich eased their way into the DFB-Pokal semi-final with a 5-0 rout of Hamburger SV. In the match against Hannover 96, Mandžukić celebrated his 100th Bundesliga appearance by meeting Rafinha's cross to complete the goal. Despite being the club's top scorer with 26 goals, Mandžukić was dropped from the team by Guardiola ahead of the 2014 DFB-Pokal final. Mandžukić stated that he wanted to leave Bayern because the playing style of coach Pep Guardiola simply does not fit him. Atlético Madrid. On the 10th of July 2014, Mandžukić signed a 4-year deal with the Spanish club Atlético Madrid for an undisclosed fee. On the 24th of July, Mandžukić was presented to Atlético Madrid fans at Vicente Calderón, wearing the number 9 shirt. He made his competitive debut in the first leg of the 2014 Supercopa de España on the 19th of August, a 1-1 draw away to Real Madrid, in which he played 78 minutes before being replaced by fellow debutant Raúl Jiménez. In the second leg at Vicente Calderón, Mandžukić scored his first competitive goal for the club, netting the winner after just 2 minutes. It was the quickest goal in the competition. Mandžukić scored his first league goal against Estieva on the 30th of August, as Atlético recorded their first win of the new Primera División season. In the opening match of the new Champions League campaign, against Olympiacos, Mandžukić collected Christian Ansaldi's cross and sent home a close-range header into the bottom corner to make it 1-2. In eventual 2-3 loss, Mandžukić helped Atlético move within 2 points of joint league leaders Barcelona and Sevilla on the 26th of October when he tapped in Arda Turan's cross to score the solitary goal in a win over Getafe. After returning to action sporting a face mask, he went from strength to strength, bagging 14 goals in all competitions before the winter break, including a sensational hat-trick against Olympiacos in the return group stage game at the Calderón on the 26th of November, which ensured a place in the Champions League knockout stage. Mandžukić scored his 11th La Liga goal of the season in his 19th appearance, in Los Colchoneros' emphatic 4-0 victory over local rivals Real Madrid in the second league derby of the season. When sport analysts noted that Mandžukić put in one of the great centre-forward displays seen in La Liga in recent years, contributing to everything that was good about his side before putting the icing on the cake with a well-taken fourth. In total, Mandžukić bagged 20 goals in 43 appearances in his only season in Madrid, living up to his image of hard-working and proven goal-scorer. Juventus. On the 22nd of June 2015, Serie A champions Juventus announced that Mandžukić joined the club from Atlético Madrid on a 4-year contract, for a fee of €19 million payable in 3 installments, including a possible extra €2 million in performance-related add-ons. Juventus was already the third club Mandžukić had joined immediately after they lost the Champions League final, having previously signed for Bayern Munich and Atlético Madrid after they have lost in the final of Europe's most elite competition. 2015-16 season. On the 8th of August he scored the opening goal in the 69th minute for Juventus with a header against Lazio in the 2015 Supercoppa Italiana, a 2-0 win in Shanghai. On the 23rd of August 2015, he made an official league debut for Juventus, starting and playing the full 90 minutes in a 1-0 loss to Udinese, in the first league game of the 2015-16 Serie A season. On the 21st of September 2015, it was confirmed that Mandžukić would be out for 3 weeks following a thigh-related injury the day before in a 2-0 win over Genoa. However, he returned early, scoring Juventus' first goal and temporary equalizer, as the team came from behind to win 2-1 away against Manchester City, during their opening match of the Champions League group stage, on the 15th of September 2015. On the 25th of October 2015, Mandžukić scored the final goal in Juventus' 2-0 home win over Atalanta in the 49th minute. This was his first Serie A goal and his 6th league appearance with the club. He scored again 2 games later, helping Juventus to defeat Empoli 3-1. On the 25th of November 2015, Mandžukić scored the winning goal in a 1-0 home win over Manchester City in the second leg of the Champions League group stage, to secure the club a spot in the round of 16. Due to these significant goals, as well as another one in a 3-0 away win against Palermo on the 29th of November, he was voted Juventus Player of the Month for November 2015. On the 27th of January 2016, Mandžukić sustained a muscle injury during the first semi-final leg of the Coppa Italia against Internazionale, putting him on the sidelines for 4 weeks. It was initially feared that he would miss the first round of 16 leg of the Champions League against his former club, Bayern Munich. However, he returned to action earlier than expected, starting in the match against Bayern on the 23rd of February, and setting up Paulo Dybala's goal in a 2-2 home draw. 2016-17 season. Mandžukic's second season with Juventus was particularly notable, as he was often played out of position by the club's manager Massimiliano Allegri. Throughout the 2016-17 season, he primarily served as a left winger, rather than as an out-and-out striker, a position which he normally occupied in the past. Although his goal-scoring rate decreased, he drew praise in the media for his work rate, versatility, consistency, and for the overall high quality of his performances in this new role. On the 25th of May 2017, Mandžukić signed a contract extension that would keep him at the club until 2020. On the 3rd of June, Mandžukić started in the Champions League final. He scored the equalizing goal in the 27th minute, just 7 minutes after Cristiano Ronaldo's goal gave Real Madrid the lead. Mandžukić chested down a ball from Gonzalo Higuain and hooked the ball over his shoulder from 15 yards, which arced over Keylor Navas's net. The goal was heralded as one of the best goals ever scored in a Champions League final, and was compared to Zinedine Zidane's goal in the 2002 final for Real Madrid. But Juventus were ultimately defeated 4-1. Mandžukic's overhead goal against Real Madrid went on to win the 2016-17 UEFA Goal of the Season award. International career. After putting together a string of solid performances in the 2007-08 Prva HNL as well as in Dinamo's UEFA Champions League and UEFA Cup matches, he earned a call-up to the Croatian national team, for which he debuted in a game against Macedonia on the 17th of November 2007. On the 10th of September 2008, he scored his first ever goal for Croatia in a 4-1 home loss against England in a 2010 FIFA World Cup qualifying match. Euro 2012. His influence in the national team increased during the UEFA Euro 2012 qualifying. His first goal of the campaign came in June 2011, when he scored an equalizer against Georgia at the Stadion Palude. He added another header against Latvia in the last match of the qualifiers. With Croatia finishing second in their group, they had to face Turkey in the Euro 2012 playoffs. In the first match played in Istanbul, Croatia stunned the home fans by winning 0-3, with Mandžukić scoring the second goal from a header in the 32nd minute of the match. Mandžukić was one of two of manager Slaven Bilic's first-choice strikers for Croatia at UEFA Euro 2012, being paired with the Everton striker Nikita Jelavic. He scored twice in Croatia's opening 3-1 win against the Republic of Ireland, and also scored in a 1-1 draw against Italy the following match. Despite Croatia's group stage exit, he was the joint top scorer of the tournament, with 3 goals alongside Mario Balotelli, Fernando Torres, Cristiano Ronaldo, Alan Zagoev, and future Bayern teammate Mario Gomez. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?